just to start off, you know what? Let's start off with just a little bit of fun. Your experience in Texas so far. What has it been like? And just get into Texas experience as well. And you know, Fight Week. How has Fight Week gone for you?
I've been here before. Fight Week's been amazing. I'm going to start with the reverential, which is I went to broadcast from the assassination spot in the park at Elm Street, where JFK was assassinated 61 years ago in a couple of weeks' time, on the 22nd of November. I think it's a very somber, reverential, historic place. It's kind of chilling when you see the crosses on the road. For example, it was shot in the throat and the head. And everybody knows about that, and he was the fourth assassinated president, the last living president to be assassinated. Look what happened to Donald Trump in the build-up. And I'm a fan of Donald Trump having won the election. I think it's good for America right now.
Kennedy into the administration.
And brought the other Kennedy, the young, is that the grandson or the niece, the nephew? Robert's son.
Of Jack.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fascinating to go and do that bit of history this morning. Just around the corner from it is the biggest poster you've ever seen of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I've been up to the stockyards. I've sampled ranch water, which I love because I'm a tequila guy. I'm an only tequila guy. There's one bit of the experience, just of the Texan experience, that I haven't had yet, which is I'm going to go to a thrift store tomorrow and buy some old boots. Buy some red boots to go with my red leather jacket, some deep red boots and some black boots to wear on my motorbike, a belt, and I might go for a hat. I'm not a hat guy. What do you call the tie that you all wear? With the strands. What do you call it? You know, it's a brooch. It's like a badge with a. No. It's just strands. It's like horsehair or whatever it is, and it's like a. It's like a medallion like this, and you've got leather into it, through it, and then down. It looks like a tie. It's like a cowboy's tie. I don't know what it's for. It looks like decoration, but I'm going to get one of those. Belts, chaps, spurs, handcuffs, maybe a couple of guns, some holsters, and I'm going to go up to stockyards and ride some horses. We're going to go to the rodeo tomorrow night as well. The rodeo. It's not my first rodeo to segue. Being at an event like this, I've been here before. I've been here with UFC in Dallas, Houston as well. I've been here in the past with Manny Pacquiao. I was frozen out of here when Canelo fought because of COVID. What I really, really like about Texas and Texans is they're like extremely polite Brits. I love the way that the identity of the people here is still so strong. I love the way they dress up when they go to stockyard. The hats are on, the boots are on, the little mini skirts are on, you know, and that's just the guys. No, not really. But I love the look. I love the look of Texans. A very polite race, I'd say. They're almost like a race. They've got their own, and it's like its own country. And obviously back in the independent days of the War of Independence and the Civil War, they wanted their own country, didn't they? These were guys that had that very strong belief. So there's a great blend of people here. I love the country music. People are very warm and open. They always are to Brits and very hospitable. But I think it's a tremendous place. The stadiums in this area that they've built are extraordinary. I'm looking forward to the casinos coming. I know there's one coming because everyone goes to Oklahoma at the moment. I'm looking forward to the laws opening up a little bit more. I think it's going to be. I think there's a lot of expansion going on in Texas. I arrived here 6 days ago, and it feels really vibrant here. Love it. Love being here. The Fight Week, just to go into that quickly, it's been extraordinary. I've had massive access to Mike Tyson, who is a friend. I would call us spiritual friends. That's why I wanted to be here. I've done TV, radio and newspaper all week. It's been so busy. Jake I get on with really well and have known him. It's a great marketing coup, this event. The girls on the card, Serrano de Puerto Rico and Katie Taylor of Ireland. Brilliant mix of two brilliant, iconic fighters who will really exemplify with this massive audience of upwards of 25 million what great women's boxing is really about. But I'm here for Mike Tyson. I want him to knock out the young upstarts. as I said to Mike, and I got a text earlier from Mike Tyson's son Emmy. He said, "Don't worry, Dad's on. He's going to knock him out."
I love it. I know. You know, people probably appreciate those words, and you know what? I think Americans have missed the Brits over here as well, and I want to lead into this question too, because with the whole Saudi Arabia thing, we kind of haven't seen Eddie on American soil as much, and I feel like to a certain extent, boxing fans in the U.S. are kind of I'm not taking a shot at any other promoters. I love all the promoters, but I feel like Eddie kind of brought just an extra level of competition to make better fights here. Do you agree with me on that? And do you think, are we going to see more Eddie cards in the U.S.? Because I know it's been Saudi and the U.K. a lot, in the past couple of years. Are we going to see that? And how do you just kind of feel about the state of the sport, I guess within the U.S. from that perspective?
It's always easy to feel that things aren't going wrong when you haven't got loads of big events, but boxing's a sport of peaks and troughs, of stars coming along. We've just been swayed towards the Middle East, seduced by the sands of Saudi Arabia right now, where they've done amazing investment in the heavyweight division. Everyone knows who the top 15 in the heavyweight division is right now. I can name you 1 to 10 right now. Usyk, Fury, Dubois, Parker, Kabayel, Zhang, that's about 7. Joshua, Fabio Wardley, Frank Sanchez, Arslanbek Makhmudov. Who am I leaving out there? Anthony Joshua is somewhere there. At the moment what the top 10 is. You could go on a little bit. Martin Bacoli, if I didn't mention him. There's some great fights we made. They've shaken up. They've shook up the heavyweight division as Turkey Al Sheikh and his team, His Excellency. And I think at the moment the shift is there. I can remember when I would come to America 10 times a year for big events, and maybe 5 or 6 more for UFC as well, when I was working on UFC. I think Eddie did have a big set of claws in America, but I think he's still on that hype train for America. I think what America needs to do, I'm a big advocate of Top Rank. I work for them sometimes at certain events. There's a Brit on, I do a lot of social media with them. I'm making little documentaries with them in fight weeks. What I'd really like to see, the question you're asking is, why aren't there the big fights in America right now? Canelo will still have big fights for 3 or 4 more fights. We had a period when we moved stadium fights in the UK with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua's Madison Square Garden debut went horribly wrong and he never came back. And I think if he'd won there, it would have sequentially brought him back. And then the Saudis came in, and the Middle East came in. But look at what there is in America. Gervonta Davis, Shaka Stevenson, Teo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Keyshawn Davis, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence still to a certain extent. Obviously he's a Texan. How he survived is amazing, and we're so pleased you're still alive, Errol. I'm leaving out a couple of guys there, but there's a group of guys around 135 to 147 who you could make so many super fights for in America. I think it's a very crowded sports landscape in America, a sports and entertainment landscape, and I think it just needs that little bit of magic dust to get it going again. We're all going to come for Gervonta Davis against Shaka Stevenson. We're all going to come for Gervonta against Teo Lopez. Those matchups, if you put them in a grid with the names, you've got 10 or 12 amazing fights. Look at the 4 kings in the 80s, Hagler, Hearns, Leonard and Duran. Do you know how many times they fought each other? 9. 9 times those guys fought each other. Leonard, Hagler, Duran and Hearns. 9 times. So think what you could do with Haney and Garcia and Gervonta and Shaka. There's so many great fights. Promoters need to come together like Turkey Al Sheikh's done with Freddie, with Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, and make the milieu work together. Make the cooperation, create the entente cordiales between Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum and Al Heyman. Make it all work together. Bring Amazon together with DAZN and ESPN and the different things. Work together. what we've had for the last year is the three main broadcasters in the UK. Even Ben Shalom, Boxer and Sky, are getting involved in the big events in Saudi. We've had three broadcasters working together. They only used to do that for the mega pay-per-view events, and that's got to change. And that's what the big man, the influential figure, Turki Al-Sheikh's done for our sport. He really has. It's only been a year, and I've been lucky enough to talk to him about what they want to do and have meetings with him, and he asks your opinion, and you tell him honestly, like I am telling you now. He's a big boxing fan. I think they've got a lot of money to spend. They've got a big treasure trove of dollars, you know, a huge public investment fund, 650 billion. It's a lot of money, you know. So, you know, I hope Bob Arum is around long enough, and Todd DeBuff has the appetite with ESPN, if ESPN will stay in the sport, to create with Al Heyman, with Oscar De La Hoya, the vibrancy in America.
Very well stated. Just two more for you. I guess, what is the future of Anthony Joshua right now? And I guess, could you give some perspective? Like, who is the face of British boxing right now, would you say?
Well, it's a really good question. Well, if Tyson Fury beats Alexander Usyk, he'll be back to being the big name, and that's going to be a very close fight in my view. He'll go to razor wire close again. The first one was close. I had Alexander Usyk winning 114, 113. Tyson Fury was beating him up for 7 rounds, and then it all went awry. We know what happened. He was swaying around like a giant skyscraper, being hit by the left hand in the 9th round. The optics of the fight dictated a lot of people who don't score fights that it was a really landslide victory for Alexander Usyk, but believe me, that was a close fight. We're going to have a close fight again. Fury didn't do that much sparring because of the eye, I believe. He's not telling us that, but I don't believe him. I think he didn't. I think you do go easy on someone when they got a cut. They didn't want to pay a $10 million fine for not being in the second fight, if you recall, because there was that fine there that was going to be for the person that didn't make it into the rescheduled fight from February. So, I haven't even talked about Joshua yet. So it will be Tyson Fury, who's the face at the moment. Who's the face? Nick Ball, Hamza Shiraz, Daniel Dubois, probably the biggest name. Look what he's just done, eviscerating Anthony Joshua in 5 rounds. My thing was always on the night. It's not about how that you lose; it's how you lose. He got mauled by a young lion. And he didn't look good. His lines, he didn't speak his lines in that first round of the fight. I've said fluffed his lines. People have taken it the wrong way. He just didn't get his game right. He didn't get going in that fight. For me, it didn't make any sense to fight Daniel Dubois a second time straight away. I understand Daniel Dubois probably fighting maybe someone like Joseph Parker in February, which is a great fight. Really great fight. 2 resurgent heavyweights. For me, wait it out, see what happens with Fury and Usyk. If Fury loses, fight Fury. If Fury wins, wait it out. He might still get the fight with Fury. But call for Deontay Wilder now. Fight Deontay Wilder, fight Dillian White. Then fight Fury or Usyk. Joshua's got 5 more fights left in my view. Doesn't want to give it up. Fight Wilder, let's just see that fight.
Yeah, I agree.
People go, oh no, Wilder's shot. But you still watch it, and you know, I mean, if Wilder can pull the trigger one more time, we know that Joshua has a vulnerability around his whiskers, even though he's a dangerous finisher and fighter. So have those fights, then have 2 fights with Fury, then maybe have a final trilogy fight with Fury, then maybe have a second fight with Daniel Dubois. Let it play out a little bit. Let your scars settle. Because the PTSD right now of going straight into another fight with Daniel Dubois never worked for me, and I did not like it that Eddie Hearn was saying, yeah, we'll do the rematch straight away. Look what you saw. He wasn't in a good place against Daniel Dubois, so that's where I see with him. I don't think he's finished in the slightest.
I love that. That's really good stuff. All right, just the last
one. That's very kind. I might get paid for this one now.
This is the last one for you. Just by the time this comes out, we'll know who won, right, tonight.
My guy will have knocked him the fuck out, man, and we'll be smoking weed together. No,
well, I was just going to say...
No, let me rescind that. I love Mike Tyson, by the way. I feel every time I'm around him, I care deeply about him. I care about him as a human being. I don't want to see him exploited. When this comes out, I hope he's knocked Jake out in 3 to maybe 4 or 6 minutes into the fight. 3 rounds of 2 minutes. The 2-minute rounds will help him. Mike's a beautiful human being. I want to call him a spiritual brother. I've had a few deep conversations with him. They're not always long, but I know that he has a radar for people. He's a very dignified human being, maybe even an enlightened person. There's something enlightened about him through the darkness that he's had to suffer and go through in his life. The pain he feels inside at maybe not loving himself enough sometimes. And I think he's getting there. And I think the dark Iron Mike Tyson is not someone he really loves, because I think he's an intelligent, beautiful, loving human being. And I just hope he can pull the trigger tonight. I know we're a few hours before it happening. I think Jake is an amazing marketeer. I really respect his courage and cojones to do what he does. I said to his face about 3 months ago at a PFL MMA event in Washington, Jake, he's going to knock you the fuck out. And Jake said, man, I know, okay, you can say that, but 4 minutes is a long time for a 58-year-old. It's been great to be around him all week. It's a massive event. I noticed for you, you're the home guy. You are the home guy indeed, and it's great to speak to you. You are the grandson of the great Jerry Jones. That's how you got this interview, isn't it?
I wish.
Taylor Jones, yeah, you're doing a great job. It's great to be on the Fanatics View channel. I really appreciate you coming over and getting me on. It's always great to see young people coming through in every walk of life, you know, because I'm Mike Tyson's age and you're Jake Paul's age, so you know, it's a draw, split draw between us tonight.
Very well stated. I'll just give you answered pretty much what I was going to ask, so I'll just give you the final word. What should boxing fans be excited about next, and what's next for you?
I'm going to back to a small hall show next Friday with Warren Boxing Management, Frank Warren's family, who do a boxing event. Then I'm on TalkSport Radio on the Saturday night analysing this. I've just done a bare knuckle event. I'm doing 10 bare knuckle events next year as well, working on those with BYB Extreme in comms and interviews. And then December I'm going an event in Dubai, Crypto Fight Nights. Then I'm doing an event in Qatar with the royal family, boxing and MMA. And then over to Fury Usyk in Riyadh. So 3 weeks away in December, back for Christmas.
Gareth, man, it's been a pleasure. It's
Pleasure's
really great
mine.
I hope Texas has treated you, just as you described. That's really great stuff, and I really appreciate you taking a moment.
You're very welcome, Taylor, and good luck with Fanatics View. Keep it going, keep grafting, keep digging, and you'll grow really big because you're a great interviewer.
Thank you, sir.